If you can get to the end of this video without getting angry at me, then I seriously applaud you. The majority of people who clicked on this video will never be rich. And why exactly is that, you might be thinking? Well, let's talk about that. For starters, you never make sacrifices. You're not willing to stop going out 2 to 3 days per week to have drinks with friends. You're not willing to stop watching Netflix or YouTube or scrolling through Instagram for 2 to 3 hours every single night. You're not willing to sacrifice your comfort right now by turning off the TV and setting your phone aside and then working on your dream. Taking time to work on your dream, because listen, work was hard today. You're tired. You need to relax a little bit. You deserve it. Or at least that's what you tell yourself. And because of that, because you're not willing to sacrifice your comfort right now, today, you're going to continue to keep doing what you've always done. Therefore, you'll continue to get the same results that you've always gotten. But for some reason, you'll expect that things will magically change for you. You don't seem to understand that the people that you hear about who are very successful and financially free got there by consistently making sacrifices. They chose to spend 2 to 3 hours every single night after work working on their dream. They chose to spend the extra time that they had on the weekends. Instead of going out and drinking with friends, they chose to spend that time working on building their craft, their business, and working on their dream. They chose success and financial freedom. You see, because success is not something that just like magically happens to you one night when you go to sleep. Like you go to sleep and you wake up and boop, the next morning you're successful without having to do any work. That's not how it works. Success is not something that happens to you. It's something that happens because of you. Because of your consistent actions on a daily basis, you will be successful. Or because of your lack of action and your lack of sacrifices, you will not be successful. You have a very hard time staying consistent. You don't seem to understand that consistent, disciplined action over a long period of time is the greatest determining factor for your success. You don't have to be the most talented person in the room, the most attractive, the most charming, the most creative. You don't have to be any of that, because if you can simply just be the most consistent person in the room, if you can consistently show up every single day while everybody else is slacking off and being inconsistent, if you can just consistently show up on a daily basis, then you will be more successful than everybody else. The reason that 95% of people remain in mediocrity their entire life is because they cannot commit to consistency. At the beginning of the new year, you make a New Year's resolution to yourself to begin going to the gym 3 times per week because you want to look like those models that you see on Instagram. And so you start going to the gym. But after just 1 week, you drop off one day because it's just too much work and you're not getting results fast enough. And then before you know it, you've quit going to the gym after just a couple of weeks entirely because you're not getting results fast enough. For some crazy reason, you think that even though you've been spending the last 5 years of your life eating poorly and never going to the gym, that you can somehow go to the gym for 2 weeks and then have the body of a Greek god. You see people on YouTube and on social media who are experiencing great success, and you see how much money they're making each month. And so you decide to start doing what they're doing. And for some reason, you think that you're entitled to the same success that they have after just a few months of being consistent when they've been consistently making content for years. Social media and the world in general has led you to believe that making money and being successful is easy, that if you just spend $997 on this course, that after just a few weeks of working on the course that you'll somehow be rich. And as a result of this, when you are not experiencing the results that you want after a week or a month or even a year of consistent work, you quit. You're not patient enough. You want things now, and you're not willing to sacrifice the good things in life now to obtain a much more valuable reward in the future. You want things right now, and you're not willing to delay your gratification today. For example, you would much rather go and take your money and buy a brand new car, or maybe you want to go and buy that brand new iPhone that just came out that's pretty much the same as last year's model, instead of saving that money and using it as a down payment for a rental property, or perhaps to use it to start a business, or maybe to invest in the stock market. You see, because for you, buying that brand new car today or the new iPhone today will bring you temporary satisfaction right now. It'll give your brain the dopamine fix that it wants. On the other hand, if you were to save that money and put it toward an income producing asset or maybe to start a business, well, that takes a lot of time and discipline. Therefore, you're not going to do that because you need your dopamine fix today. Also, apparently, all of your friends and the people that you follow on TikTok are already way more successful than you at your age, or at least that's how they portray it. And so you feel like you need to spend money that you don't have to impress people who don't care about you, all for the sake of looking a certain way. You're not willing to put your head down and grind for the next several years until you can accomplish your goals and then experience true wealth and success. You would much rather spend your money and spend your time right now trying to be perceived as rich, trying to look successful while working a job that's barely able to keep you afloat enough as it is. You don't seem to understand that if you can just practice a little bit of patience today, that if you can just start saving your money to buy things that are going to have a lasting impact on your life, that you'll live a much more happy and fulfilled life. You're afraid of hard work. If you had to choose between working 70 hours per week for the next 10 years to become rich, or keep on working 40 hours per week and remain in mediocrity, well, you would probably just keep on working 40 hours per week. The thought of you having to work harder than what's absolutely necessary in order to survive is such a foreign concept to you that when you see somebody else who is working hard, you diagnose it as a problem. You say that they have an unhealthy work-life balance. You want to be successful in life. You want to stop working for somebody else. You want to start making the money that you know you deserve to be making, but you're not willing to put in the hard work to get those things. You don't seem to understand that in order to be a part of the 10%, you have to be willing to do what 90% of people are not willing to do. As a result of this, you habitually choose to just take the easy road in life, the path of least resistance. This is the path that the vast majority of people take, and it's the road that leads to utter mediocrity. And so as you travel down this easy road in life, you begin to feel bad about yourself, and you're constantly surrounded by people who are pessimistic and cynical about life, and they're traveling down that same path as you. And you think to yourself, maybe I should go back and take the hard path. I mean, after all, I do have time. But then you look over at the hard path and you notice something. You notice that it's filled with obstacles, with big mountains and deep valleys and dangerous beasts. And so you decide to yourself not to go to the hard path after all. You say to yourself, my life is pretty good. I mean, I'm happy. I guess I'm happy. I'm living an average life. Things are going fine for me. You come up with all of these creative excuses as to why you shouldn't take the hard path, as to why you shouldn't actually chase your dreams, knowing that good and well, deep down inside, that it's possible. That if you really put your mind to it, that you could take the hard path and you could overcome those obstacles. But instead, you choose to listen to that voice that's saying, maybe I shouldn't do that. Let's just keep going down this easy path here. And so you tell yourself all of these creative lies, and you know what? That makes you feel better about yourself, at least for that moment. Unfortunately, though, nobody's ever told you that we all must suffer one of two things: the pain of regret or the pain of discipline. There is no other option. And if you decide to take the easy path, after 20 to 30 years, you'll realize that this path leads to disappointment and dissatisfaction. But if you would have just simply chosen the path that seemed harder at the beginning, that your life would be filled with extraordinary success beyond your greatest imagination, that you would have accomplished more in your lifetime than you ever thought was even possible. You see, because unfortunately, nobody's ever told you that the easy path in life actually ends up getting harder as you travel down it. And then the harder path in life is hard at first, but then it gets disproportionately easier as life goes on. You never start. You say that you want to get rich. You say that you want to build wealth, that you want to build this generational wealth that's going to affect your kids' kids. But you're never actually starting the thing that is going to get you to that place. You constantly make excuses as to why you can't start working on your dream today or tomorrow or next week. Instead, you say things like, I'm going to start working on my dream January 1st, when in all actuality, the month is April, and you could technically start tomorrow and have the rest of the year to make progress on your goals. For some reason, you believe the lie that people who are rich and successful are either born that way or have some type of special gift or talent that you don't have. And so you never even try in the first place. No one's ever told you that 9 out of 10 millionaires in America are actually self-made, that they did not come from wealthy families, that they were not born with some type of special gift or talent that they were able to utilize to build their wealth. No, they had to work and grind every single day to build up their craft, to build their skill, to build their business, to work on their dream to achieve success. Unfortunately, you've never been told the truth that as a human, you are more capable than any other species on this earth to achieve success and to achieve your goals. And that when you start taking action, when you start consistently taking action, that you'll begin to see really small results. And then if you keep on taking action, those results will get bigger and bigger. And that if you can just keep on working hard and staying consistent and making sacrifices and being patient, that you will inevitably achieve your biggest ambitions just like the thousands of regular people have before you.